everyone. It's been really a journey where women's Premier League is concerned. And we have now, after nearly 21 matches and over 3 weeks, it's come down to the final, which is this evening. And naturally, it's going to be a riveting one, because when you look at the battle that they've had earlier, just the last match, just one run differentiating between Delhi Capitals and Royal Challengers Bangalore. It'll be truly, we are looking forward to something really superbly interesting. And for that, we have a very good panel of former cricketers. More than anything else, this is the Indian Cricketers Association podcast, and it's so nice that we cricketers in Indian ICA is full of only cricketers, and it's a body of cricketers. And for them to do a broadcast is a really wonderful thing. With me, I've Nilima Joglekar. She captained India. She played Test cricket, one-day cricket, and she's from Maharashtra, from a state that I also played. She's done much better than me in that factor. But more than anything else, she's been involved with cricket, and she's been involved in many ways in women's cricket. She's been a match referee as well, and a selector. And it's wonderful to have you. Welcome, Nilima.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sunny.
Yeah. And then we have Manjula, Kumar, who also played a lot of cricket in Hyderabad. She was the former chairman of the women's cricket in Hyderabad. But more than anything else, she was, as she said, her favorite player was Vishwanath. So was I, very fond of Vishwanath. I had some very wonderful partnerships with him. And like all Hyderabadi, I'm sure you were a wristy player, a very gifted wristy player who went through quite a lot. So we'll talk about Hyderabad and Hyderabad cricket, and naturally your women's cricket, the way it has progressed. And it's wonderful to have you with us, Manjula, and we look forward to a real good discussion. But before anything else, I mean, we've now come to the final. Eliminators are over, and that was itself a very, very, very riveting match, a nail-biting match, as you would say. And it seems to be all the matches in the women's, more or less, many of them. We started with two very close matches, and now we ended the semi, as you can call it, in the similar manner. What is most heartening to see is the following. The following that has come about. The stadiums are full, and I gather you can't even get a ticket for today's match. Isn't that wonderful for women's cricket? And Nilima, can you elaborate a little bit more about all this? Aren't you happy? Aren't you glad something like this is happening for women's cricket?
Sunny, good you put this question to me. It's been our dream ever since we started playing cricket. Women's cricket started in India. And it's so amazing to see crowds coming to the ground and packed stadiums. Imagine we had that only in the test match at Patna, when full crowd, they came to see women. They came to see women, but now they come to see how well women play cricket. That's the beauty of it. And they are packed stadiums now. It's so amazing to see. It's percolated down to the smallest of places. Women's cricket, they are asking questions about women's cricket. They know who the players are. Smriti Mandhana has gone to their home and she's entertaining. So is Harmanpreet Kaur. We saw that in the last game, how well that was a nail-biting finish. And it cannot get better than this. It can just go on and on. It's amazing to see the crowd enjoying women's cricket. And
Nilima, coming to you. I mean, you must be pretty thrilled to have a Maharashtra player, captain of a side, in Smriti. from Sangli. That must, I'm sure you must be backing RCB more than DC. Yeah.
Let's not take sides now. I have been a match referee for too long
Yeah.
to take any sides.
Okay.
I'm here to watch
This
some
is good.
fantastic cricket. Some
Anyway,
fantastic cricket.
but I know Hyderabadis are always they will go for the best side that they want. They'll be much more open, and I'm sure Manjula has got something to say on women's cricket as well as what's happening down south and what are her views on it as well.
Yeah, yeah, it's my pleasure to talk on this statue. Yeah, it's been a long journey for women's cricket, but I never thought I'll see today, the day when the entire stadium is sold out. I never thought I'll live to see the progress of women's cricket to what it has reached today. It is fantastic to see the girls playing so well. And there were times when they used to mock at women cricketers, saying women and cricket don't go together. But today, the same women have brought so much crowd into the stadiums. It is not just fan following, but it is the families which are coming to watch women's cricket. And the televisions which added the grace to the game, in the sense, like, see, women always they add grace to cricket or
Yes,
anything
I
they
agree.
take up. The same catches which a man takes is more gracefully showcased by women. And the slow motion photographs and camera work they do, it is bringing out the best in women. It is putting the women on a higher pedestal.
I like that. I like that. Very well said. I mean, I agree with you there. Always, naturally, women are much prettier to look at than men. So
It's not just looks.
even when you look at tennis, I mean, you'd rather watch women's tennis than men's now anymore. And what has happened in men's, power hitting has become so much that it's becoming quite easy where they're concerned to get sixes and fours. And the women's game is a little slower. So it's becoming more exciting, more uneven, more uncertain as such. And so coming to you, Nilima, we are coming down to the final now. What is your views? I mean, you want to be as usual, not on either side, but tell us something about a few of the cricketers that you've been excited about.
Absolutely. Graceful is the word I will use for women's cricket. They hit sixers, but with grace, utmost grace. And who better to showcase this than Smriti Mandhana herself? Not because she's a Maharashtra player, but she is a true Indian player. And I hope she comes all guns blazing today. That doesn't mean that I'm for RCB, but my heart goes out to RCB. They have put in a lot of efforts in promoting women's cricket and cricket in general. But I would be everyone will be watching Ellis Perry. There's a lot of talk about her, so I need not add to that. But Shefali Verma, what is very good to see in this 24 WPL is Indian women have come up trumps also, along with the Australian great Meg Lanning, Shefali, Jemima's journey to this height has nothing but hard work, and she keeps improving every time she comes on the field. You see the enthusiasm she carries. Shefali Verma, of course, hard-hitting bat. We would love them to perform today at their best.
But coming to that, I mean, you also have to think of all the bowlers. You've been very impressed by the batsmen. I leave it to Manjula to tell us on the bowlers. What about this Asha? The way she bowled that last over, I mean, it was incredible. The length she kept, the calmness she kept in bowling those balls. I'm leaving it to you.
Yeah, the name, her name itself showcases women's cricket at its best. She's got three names: Shobana, Asha, Joy.
Yeah.
Shobana, she brings the grace. Asha is hope, and Joy with the performance. The way she bowled
she
the
brought all
last
three.
over.
Yeah.
See, it's very tough to hit out leg spinners. The ball going away, and the natural tendency for a batsman is to open out. Once you open out, you tend to miss the ball goes away. She's kept her calm, and also the way Smriti Mandhana led the team. She allowed other senior cricketers from Australia and England to give their inputs. So when she went and asked Shobana, Asha Joy, whether she is prepared to bowl the last over, and she just raised her hand up and she said, I'll do it. That is the tough mentality the girls have shown in these WPL matches. And they all come from very remote areas, small town people. They have that, big heart.
No, whether small or big, everyone has to have a heart. But similar, if you remember, years ago, last over was given to Sachin Tendulkar, and he bowled leg spin against West Indies or somebody and made us win. So, I mean, you need a heart to be able to do that. But what about some other players? Who do you think? I mean, we know about Smriti. Jemima is really doing extremely well. I think the way she was rotating the strike was perfectly. She seemed to have matured a lot. And you've got all these Perry and all of them. But anybody else you think who's going to show out like Asha? Nilima, okay.
Yeah, Shreyanka Patil. She is the next star.
Correct. She's done well. Yeah.
She is the next star. She has that cricketing brain in her, and she just improves, and confidence that she exudes. She's a youngster. But even Asha, for that matter, I was really impressed with her in the domestic cricket that she played. T20, I saw her playing. But this time, she was not worried about playing with the big guns. She was so confident. So was Shreyanka Patil. Shreyanka, you cannot take away. And Smriti has been taking chances with the spinners. Even last time, though it didn't work out, but Shreyanka in the previous games had bowled well. So that's why she did trust this one. But this was a bit risky, giving it to Asha last time, because Asha had just bowled one over before that. And to give it to her, it took some courage. And it took courage for Asha to bowl that over, and such a marvelous job. And you cannot take away, now Thakur has not performed as she performs for the Indian team, but she also can be a good bowler in times of crisis, like it will be crisis.
Who's that, Nilima? Renuka?
Renuka Thakur, yes.
Yeah.
She has not performed well this season.
She bowls lovely in swingers. She really bowls well.
Yes.
What about you, Manjula? What do you think? Who will be? See, the top two bowling wicket takers are all from DC at present. What about what was your take on the bowling?
Yeah, see, the Shika Pandey, she doesn't really get her due credit for the performances she does. She's a wicket taker. She may give away one or two boundaries, but she breaks the partnerships. That is you can't let the partnerships grow in T20 matches. You have to keep on taking wickets. It's the bowlers who win the matches invariably. Batsmen do get credit, but even bowlers have their say in these T20 matches. Shika Pandey is one bowler who's really good. And Ellis Perry, I mean, she's such a great all-rounder. She can win matches with the bowling or even batting. The previous match against MI, she took 6 wickets, out of which 4 were clean bowled. Her bowling is the in-cutter she bowls really come fast out the wicket, and it's very difficult to play her off the back.
Yeah,
and even with the batting, Even in the last match with the batting, she was the only one who scored 60 runs. But
Yeah.
for her score, RCB would have been really doldrums.
No, she batted extremely well. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
good. But this is what I've also, for both of you, I'd like to, is this somehow the other, the cricketing nuances have been missing. You know, like you saw the way they're throwing out their wickets when they shouldn't have. It has happened to Harmanpreet in the last match with Shafali also. I mean, what is it? And I saw that even in this, you know, it was a low scoring match. You could have played much more careful, you know, and you can see you have to build an innings, you know how to finish an innings. And somehow I'm seeing, even in the Indian women's team, when they play, that finishing somehow just people collapse at the last stage. It used to happen with Indian men also. Let's not fall away. During our time, it was exactly the same. I think that maturity will come with this WPL, Women's Premier League, because they're playing against these foreign teams. I can see Lanning talking to all the batsmen, and I can even Perry and Smriti seem to have a good relationship, which is coming about. So, don't you think that all that is going along well? But how will they improve upon these small things like dragging your bats or doing some cricketing, small cricketing issues, you know, which come about?
Right. See,
Runouts is another thing, you know that.
Runouts, yes. And but this time the dot ball percentage has reduced like anything. It's come down like anything. And it's hats off to the bowlers who, in spite of good wickets, are getting those dot balls, whatever they're getting. But now they have improved, Sunny, like you said, they have been, it's a glamorous game, Sunny. You and 19, 20-year-old, and they are throwing away wickets, but they are going for the glory. If they hit a six, you will praise them, you know, and
Yeah,
that's
that's
how
true.
the game has built, and that's how you can't deny that. Even great Dhoni couldn't get that. He had to hit a six before he reached 100 or 50
No,
or whatever.
but Nilima, he did it very, very nicely, very subtly. You know, he
Correct.
never. There has to be a time to play certain shots, and a time when you don't need to play, you can just go over the line without doing something extraordinary. But I know a lot of them are trying to become big stars rather than trying to make the team win. So anyway, now coming to the finals, let's see both of you. I mean, you've been trying to avoid all these things, but you have to come back as to which is your favorite side and your favorite players and what are you looking forward to, both of you. Manjula, you can give us your views first. Yeah.
You have said Hyderabadis are neutral. We are sports lovers. For me, women's cricket should be showcased at its best. If both the teams are playing cricket, it's the women who are playing. So whichever team plays the best and holds its nerve are going to win the match. But
you have to have a favorite. You have to have a favorite somewhere.
I see. There's a saying, you know, like when Shah Rukh Khan's famous dialogue in one movie, "Agar tum sache dil se kisi ko chaho ya kuch," the entire kainat, universe will support you, will help you in achieving that. I think RCB has got that. You know, the entire fanfare, the fans are hoping, dreaming for RCB to win. They couldn't do it with the men, but I think the women, they are getting that support from RCB. They will do it. They are conspiring. Their wishes are going to be fulfilled. And RCB as a unit, you know, they have a rapport, as I had pointed out earlier also. Smriti does consult everyone. She doesn't take the lead on her own. She takes inputs from everyone. So she could have just thrown the ball to Shobha and asked her to bowl. No, she went and asked her, "Will you bowl?" So that is the confidence she derives from the players.
But then look at her. Look at her playing a shot, the way she got out in that match. I mean, she's such a good player. She just needs to make sure she's
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
the
See, it
first 10
happens.
overs at least.
Yeah, it happens. Rush of blood. Even Harmanpreet, I never expected Harmanpreet. The same over, stumping chance was missed of the Shriyanka Patil's bowling. And she just,
Correct.
I mean, I thought MI lost the match because of Harmanpreet's throwing away a wicket. It's just 12 runs or 20 runs needed, and you throw your wicket, and not the caliber of Harmanpreet. She should have carried the team.
And this is what I'm saying, the nuances, leaving it to the others, because in one match, in the first match, okay, that girl came and hit it and she got
it happened. It happened.
But you expected her to do in this match was also asking for a lot. Instead, to carry it forward and take it and win. So this is where I think Lannings and all are going to make a lot of difference, even Perry. So it's really Lannings versus Perry in many ways today. Because they've won the World Cup so often, they've won such big tournaments often, and I think that. What about you, Nilima? What do you think? See, she's like you said RCB, so you've lost Smriti now.
No. I would put it this way, very well put by you, that it is the match between Meg Lanning and Ellis Perry. But Ellis Perry has an edge because she's an all-rounder. But Meg is a great cricketer and a captain, so it's the bowlers which are going to dictate this. And like you said, these two have shown the difference in batting through, playing good strokes, but in line with the ball. They're not playing across all the time. Ellis Perry and Meg Lanning, they have scored all over, whereas the Indian batters are going slogging the ball across, playing across. That's their folly. It's not about one shot. It's the game of 20 overs. And
I think Jemima will make it.
I will take the DC side because of Jemima. And though they started off very well and slightly now on the decline, on a plateau, but RCB is climbing slowly and very positively. But it's going to be a good contest. I will take DC side just to be on the other side, but my heart goes out to RCB. I want the Kainat. I will join the Kainat and saying that they should win, but DC is playing well, so I want them to do well as well.
Yeah, they are the favorites. Nilima, they are the favorites after all. They've won most of the matches. They've beaten RCB twice already.
So were Mumbai Indians.
And with Mumbai Indians, it could have been and last year also they were in the final DC. So, yes, they're a very powerful side. Yeah. And look at Meg Lanning. Why is she retiring at 31? In India, we would have just said we are just getting warmed up for another 10 years at least. It's quite a remarkable
thing. Think she has... she has achieved everything that is possible in their cups in her closet. There's so many of them, and they're all World Cup victories. 8 of them, if I'm not wrong.
So you mean to say she can't fit any more in?
She must be trying to fit in WPL.
She can.
What about you,
Manjula? Now WPL is missing.
Yeah. As Nilima said, Meg Lanning makes all the difference. But the thing is, she opens the batting and sees through her side. Whereas in RCB, Smriti is not able to she's starting off very well, but she's not taking it to the end. I also feel Royal Challengers should bring in Sabineni Meghana.
Okay.
Because she's a good hard-hitting batsman.
Well in the first match between them.
Yeah. So they should make that change. They should open with Meghana and Smriti, of course. because then they can push down the batting lineup. The batting can go longer, deep. They can go deep. So then they'll have a good opening stand. They're not getting good opening stand, RCB. Whereas Shafali and Meg Lanning are giving them a very good start, especially in the power play. Their power play score is very good.
Spinners are playing quite a part. The ball is also turning a bit and it's slow. So it's becoming difficult to hit, like you said, to the leg spinners and all that. Even the left spinners.
No, even a smart thing she has done, Smriti, was she never gave any bowler 2 overs continuously. So every time she was just giving one over in the last match, she was giving just 1 over. So every time the batter had to, get her eye in. She was not knowing, it's not becoming a repetitive bowling for them. That's what she said.
What about the fielding? Nilima, what about the fielding? I mean, Jemima is really good. But there are a lot of them who are quite weak where fielding is concerned. Yeah, it's I find that
you see them in patches. You see them in patches somehow, and there's some brilliant stops and there's some sitters being dropped. And it's like, who is learning from whom? We used to look up to Australians for taking good catches.
And now they are dropping. They are dropping.
Yeah, they are dropping. So I don't know what's happening. It's because of the noise of the crowd, which these people are not used to it. But they have played a number of matches in India as well. So you can't say that it's just a bad day that they are having. But definitely fielding needs to improve if you want people to enjoy good cricket. They need to improve. We need to have some Radha Yadav like catches which she had taken in this game.
No, there have been some exceptional catches. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, exceptional catches. I think that area and fast running between the wickets is where some of the players are lacking, and which they should learn from these Australians, and playing the steady innings, at least one anchor. But they are when they want to be explosive, they can be explosive.
Nilima, just coming to you, I'm very shocked that you have not mentioned Richa Ghosh. You're a wicket keeper and you're just forgetting somebody in your line of action.
I'm not forgetting.
She's another match winner.
I'm keeping her for the last. Richa Ghosh is a match turner, best person for the last, and wicketkeeper. Who can be better than the wicketkeeper? We've all seen keepers doing well. So she is the key in coming years for India, and that is heartening to see. And the way she batted with cool temperament, she was coming and she knew where she wants to hit, and it was not a slog at any time.
Did it remind you of yourself? Did it remind you of yourself?
We have a great wicketkeeper to emulate. So I think Richa Ghosh can emulate that person more than anything. MSD is the role model for
he's
all
the legend. Yeah, that's a. But what about you?
And
Manjula,
you're forgetting Jess Donner.
Yeah.
Pardon?
No, Manjula, I was asking her, what about batting? I mean, Jemima has got a lot of risky shots, and she started playing a lot, between gaps and changing strikes. And I think, who else would you say from the Indian side that you would be impressed with?
Yeah, actually, let me come to Richa Ghosh. I think she's overshadowed by the likes of Harman, Smriti, and Shafali. She's also a very, very clean hitter of the ball, and she's somehow not getting a due recognition. Now, coming to Jemima is a street smart cricketer. I mean, that is what I feel. She's a very, very smart cricketer. She knows the gaps. She plays into the gaps. She doesn't have the power hitting of rest of the girls who are there in the Indian team, but she pierces the field. She bisects two fielders and gets her runs. And she's a very good, she rotates the strike. That is one plus point she has. And another thing is she's a 100% team player. 100% team player. So she's happy for the other side of the batsman who's playing with her, and she rotates the strike. That is one plus point she has got.
She's got that Bombay cricket,
yes,
sort of caduceness.
Smart and Bombay. Sunny, street smart and Bombay. That goes hand in glove.
And like us, Nilima, the Maharashtra ones also. But you wanted to ask me something. You wanted to say something.
Yeah, I wanted to say that one thing with Jemima, she is batting mostly with Meg Lanning or some other Australian player. Jess Jonas, I think, comes. No, she bats with Alice.
Even with Shafali, she did last time.
And so running between for her is very crucial in the beginning of her innings. And if she finds someone who can run well, if she is playing with Harman, but Harman is a reluctant runner. She's a good runner, but reluctant runner.
Yeah, but Harman is not there in this match, so that is.
I'm just talking about it.
What about Cap and all
she's doing that rotating better than with any other player because herself is a good runner.
What you said is right. More than the runner, she needs someone to also play aggressive. Like Shafali and her partnership was extremely good because one was really getting all the boundaries and she was getting all the, she was rotating the strike and then she herself can play all those shots also. So it's a nice sort of a combination. But she needs that combination. I agree with you. She needs somebody on the other side. And same thing, I think, with it's going to be a very close game because there are some very competitive players in this and match winners that, normally you have one or two match winners. Here you have in every side, you have about 5 match winners. So any one of them could change the course of the game as such. And that's so interesting to have women's cricket, to have so many people. Like I'm astonished. I mean, each team has got 7 bowlers bowling, 6 bowlers. I mean, even the men's team doesn't have 7 bowlers into it. And a lot of them are batters as well. So it's so interesting to that how women's cricket has progressed. And coming to that, I mean, where you all are, when you all played, what do you feel now? How will it enchant into something much, much bigger? Manjula, what do you think? You're a chairman of a selection committee. And do you see a lot of youngsters coming in? Parents are allowing the kids to come through and
See, I think it is the best phase. It's the golden phase of women's cricket. The society is changing. When we were playing, it's basically the parents who were, supportive and encouraging us to take up the game. But society was never for girls playing the game. I'll tell you one example. I mean, as Hyderabad, Nawabi State, and we have a lot of Muslim girls too playing. But it is when I started, there was one senior of mine whose father never allowed her to play in open grounds. It has to be a Zanana. It has to be a women's college. Only women spectators. There was a next 20 years phase. There was another girl who would come in burqa, play cricket, wear the burqa and go. And today you are seeing Shabnam Shakil of Andhra. She's just a 16-year-old girl. Shabnam Shakil. She's 5 feet 10 inches, I was told. She's very tall.
Which is very good. Nilima, what about
BCCI? Imagine she's coming from traditional Andhra, which is more traditional than Hyderabad. And
Nilima,
parents are allowing her. It's the parents who are encouraging the girls to take up the game. Many times it happens that it could be unfulfilled dream of a father letting the child take the game. cricket. That's what many of the women cricketers, they take up to cricket, seeing their brothers playing, their fathers playing. So it happened with Mithali too. Mithali used to accompany her brother to the playground. It's just that the coach watching brother saw this girl's talent and gave her the ball and made her play.
No, it's nice you brought up the man, you brought out a person who is a legend in women's cricket, Mithali. And yes, we've all gone through that movie that came out on her, and it's really creditable as to what she has achieved in her life. Julian as well. So you have recent stars. You all were the stars earlier, but now recent stars who are out there as such. But Nilima, coming to you, what about the BCCI? I mean, look at what how they have helped in women's cricket as such, and how it's progressed because of them.
I must thank ICA for taking this initiative to reach out to more and more players, former players. They're doing a lot for former players. And this broadcast, for that matter, is one of them. But the best part is giving assistance where medical is concerned. ICA is doing a good job ever since its conception, and so it's been it's getting all the former players their dues, which when they played, they didn't have any sort of support for them. So it's tremendous. I congratulate ICA for being what they are, and they're putting forward the grievances of all the former players to BCCI. And I must say that BCCI has really been supportive. Tremendous the way they have last two editions of like this year and the last year.
No,
they have really gone all out to promote WPL. They have gone out, and especially Mr. Secretary BCCI, he has been a tremendous influence on getting cricket to where it is. Jai Shah, no one else. He has done it. If you can say something to him and it reaches to him, he makes sure that he understands it fully and then gives the orders to get it done.
That's nice
and it has been tremendous. Of course, I'm not saying that former presidents have not done it, but with ICA's Shubhangi Kulkarni, I must say, she has been tremendous influence where grievances are getting to Jai Shah and everything getting in.
No, it's been very nice for women's cricket that you have Shubhangi, you have Shanta, Naina, and all of them helping in this cause. And I think the new lot have to carry it.
And I'll tell you one thing I want to tell in this medium. I want to tell in this medium that the press, the public, the media, it has played a tremendous role in getting women's cricket where it is. So like Manjula said, it's a golden period and it can reach to newer heights. It's only one way up, for women's cricket. I won't be surprised if we have just exclusive women matches being played and everyone is talking about women's cricket more than they talk about men's cricket. That will be the day. That will be the day.
No, I don't. I think cricket as a sport should be there, whether it's men or women. It should be enjoyed by everyone as a sport. And I think, yes, you have your goals to bring it up. And I think women's cricket is coming up and it's becoming, like you said earlier, glamorous sort of the sport to watch, and their skills are improving. They're showcasing a lot of talent as well, and excitement as well. And people are hitting the ball now, power hitting. They're all being able to hit it out of the ground with no problems at all. And it's wonderful to have that. So just before I end, both of you, I have to catch you. I know you are with DC and RCB, but just the last thing of what you want to give your favorite team some sort of a message.
You want me to say? Yeah, before
Yes,
that,
sir.
I want to say BCCI
Okay.
is the wind beneath the wings of women's cricket. It is letting women's cricket soar to a greater heights. And with the backing the women's cricket is getting from BCCI, I'm extremely happy to say where it is growing. See the way it has
Nice
caught up
yeah.
people's imagination. It has brought so much of crowd to the grounds. The same people will encourage their kids to take up sport, women's cricket in the longer run. Now, coming to who I'm backing, as I said earlier, I'm backing cricket, the game. You know,
Wonderful to hear that. Yeah.
I want both the ladies in action, whether they are bowling or they are batting, to showcase their best, exhibit their best skills, and take women's cricket to greater heights.
And play in the right spirit of the game.
I don't think there was any controversy regarding the behavior or any.
Wonderful. Yeah, that's
they're not. I mean, women are more docile. They're not aggressive.
No,
So
they're much more. Yeah, I agree
so
with
now,
you.
as you said, they're on the screen. They're on the big screen. So
Yeah.
they're politically right, and they know how to hide their feelings and showcase, put their best foot forward.
Yeah.
So I want both the teams to do that.
That's a nice way to put it, Manjula, because men are becoming a little aggressive. You see those hand movements and I don't know, all sorts of movement. But women take their, either they get out, they take it so nicely, or they get a wicket, they take it so nicely.
No, it's they're more subtle in their expression.
Yeah, because all of you have to handle so many, women have to handle so many multitasks, as we say.
Yeah, that's what we are good at multitasking. So we are good at expressing less when we could go overboard and throw our hands and run and do a lot of things. But it's good. The girls are they're being the good ambassadors of the sport.
Wonderful to hear. Nilima, what about you? Your last thoughts on
One thing, Sunny.
that and about.
One thing, Sunny, I would like to say, you see them, the last game which was played between Mumbai and RCB. It was so heartening to see the other team coming and telling them not to worry. Or even when RCB lost and Richa Ghosh was down on her knees, Jemima going to her, don't worry, you will learn from this and maybe win the World Cup. So it's the glory that and the grace with which they are playing, the grace with which they are taking the game to the heart, and the players that are playing, to get them to see, it's so heartening.
Yeah, it's nice that they are all so. But when you're talking about goals, yes,
and that what makes.
See, World Cup is one part. Winning a World Cup is one part. But I've already told in my last podcast that they have to win a gold medal in the 2028 Olympics. And I'm sure our team will be really powerful enough by then.
Absolutely.
To do that.
That's why it's a golden period, and they are getting what they did not expect themselves, when they started playing cricket, that they will get to play in the Olympics, and getting a gold would be their dream. Absolutely. Everyone's dream. That would be. Getting a World Cup will be another game. And that is where BCCI is coming into the picture. It's not just about this team. It has they have programs for India A match, India under-19 World Cup winners. They are already. Shefali is playing amongst them. So it's a great, or Tita Sadhu, who is like, who is there in the DC team. So these players are the future of the game.
Correct.
And I wish them very well in the future. They are the future of women's cricket, and that is where they are the stars of women's cricket.
Now we look forward to tonight's game. It's going to be a real nail biter, I can tell you that. And yes, I agree. Cricket at the end is going to win, and that's the most important part, whether it's women's cricket or men's cricket. But it's going to be cricket that is going to win, with a full stadium out there in Delhi. And I think it'll be wonderful. It'll be a superb thing. And the second edition of the Women's Premier League has really proved to be beneficial, not only to cricket as such, but to Indian cricket as well, because I'm sure the youngsters are going to learn a lot about it. Anyway, thank you very much, Nilima. And yes,
Thank you.
And Manjula, it's nice, both of you, and to spend time and give your thoughts and views. It's really, we are very grateful for it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And the game should be nail-biting finish. That will be the icing on the cake for this tournament. Yes.